Help! My books aren't selling on Amazon. I hear this so often, and there's very good reason why your books aren't selling. In fact, I'm going to talk about 5 mistakes on Amazon KDP that you should avoid, so make sure you stay tuned to today's video. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, best-selling author, as well as a self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And if you want that too, make sure, of course, that you subscribe here to this channel, but also visit me over at twitch.tv/self-publish, where I do long-form live videos. I talk with everybody about how to write and self-publish books that sell. I cannot tell you the number of times that people have reached out to me, and kudos, I appreciate the support, that they mention my books aren't selling on Amazon. What gives? And this varies from the newbie author to the established veteran. I get a lot of people that'll come in and go, I don't understand. I've been doing everything that you're saying, but if you're doing everything that I'm saying, you're probably missing a step or two here or there. For new authors, one of the things I'll say, and I'm just a spoiler alert on this one, the biggest issue is if you only have one book on the market, then you only have one specific asset that you can put out into the world before you've exhausted all your resources. Now, for you established authors out there, you really don't have much of an excuse if you have anywhere, say, of half a dozen books or even more, because you have plenty of assets to build an entire community around. So there's a bigger issue that's plaguing why you aren't having any sales on Amazon. And I'm going to discuss 5 of the biggest mistakes, and let's go ahead in really the order of importance in my opinion. Number 1, an obscure niche. Yes, for some reason, every now and then someone comes along and they've got this book idea. They say, oh, I've got this great idea. It's going to mix Werebear Shapeshifter romance with needlepoint and crocheting, and it's going to include some more like a create your own adventure, and they're going all over the place. But the problem is they've gone all over the place. They've just put themselves into a weird and obscure niche, and there's just not much of an audience. And that's going to be the thing is, if you want to get good sales, if you want to get consistent sales, you need to go and write for where the market's at. And I know some of you out there that might be writing for the sake of the art, and kudos to you, that's fantastic. But if you simply want to write and not worry about sales, then don't complain about not having sales when you're writing in a very obscure niche with no audience. Number 2, book cover. Oh, you would think I saved this to the very last. You would think I would say, okay, no, I got to get this one out the way. If your sales are lacking, I'd say 99.9% of the time, when I see someone, they say, oh, I've done everything you said, and then I look at their listing and their cover looks like it was done in Microsoft Paint, then you shouldn't be shocked. People judge a book by its cover. It's just a fact. There's very few people out there that don't care about the cover. There's just a few of them. So before some of you start getting snarky on me going, well, I don't care about the cover, that's great. You deserve a banana sticker. But for the rest of the folks out there, they will judge your book by a cover. And the thing is we are constantly being barraged with so much information on our mobile devices and on our desktops and our laptops. And one of the best ways to be seen and heard above the noise is to have a remarkable cover. And if you're just kind of putting out one that looks horrible or that's just blasé, then chances are likely people are just going to scroll right on past you. Number 3, book description. Okay, so people have scrolled through all the product listings on Amazon KDP, and what they start to kind of do is they're going to zero in on the great looking covers. They're going to click on that given product and see more and potentially buy the product. And what are they going to do? They're going to probably read the book description. Unless your book cover is so phenomenal, they don't care about the book description. They'll just go ahead and buy it right away. But usually, most customers are going to say, okay, what's the deal with this book? And they're going to click the see more and they're going to read more. And the thing is if you can't give them a compelling reason to part ways with their money and their time, then they're going to probably pass. They're going to move on to another product. And I've talked about book descriptions and how to lay those things out, but I'm going to forward you over to one of my favorite resources in Brian Meek's book. It's called Mastering Amazon Descriptions. Go read this, and especially if you're a fiction author, because he leans heavily into the fiction niches, and you can get great examples, and it will help you refine your hook and get it to where you have a call to action, and get it to where your ad copy, aka your book description, gets it to where the person feels like they have no other choice than to buy your book. Do not take this specific area lightly. You need to make sure you're coming with your A game, and I'd recommend that when you put together a book description, have about 6 to maybe a dozen different peers review your book description and get it to where they pick it apart and talk about the layout and how you have the specific word choice and how you're breaking up each one of your sentences. Number 4, keyword selection. Okay, so keywords are the bridge that connects your ideal reader to your book. So if you don't have the right keywords with your particular book, then chances are likely you have greatly diminished your ability to be discovered. Now, too many times people think keywords alone are going to sell books. No, it just makes it to where you're more discoverable. It's not going to sell your book. Now, will it help out if you have it in the title and subtitle? Yes, that's going to help with more discovery. Will it help out if you also put it into your book description? Absolutely, because it's going to validate the customer's search when they're bringing up your content. Will the 7 back-end keywords help get you discovered even more? Absolutely. Do not take this section lightly. I see oftentimes people are just putting one word into each one of the 7 keyword boxes without really fully knowing that a keyword is a string of words of 2 or more words in a row that puts together a phrase. So when you hear someone say keyword, it doesn't mean just one word, it means an entire phrase. So instead of me, for instance, putting together a keyword that says workout into these 7 keyword slots, I would probably drill it down to who exactly my audience is and what is my product in particular. So it could be, say, home workout plan for men over 40. Does that make sense? We're getting it to where we really drill it down, and I get it to where I identify my audience and my product and try to meet them in the middle. Before I jump into the number 5 biggest mistake, just want to let you know there actually is a service provider out there that can help you out with quite a few of these things. In fact, they're the sponsor of this channel, and they're called Fiverr. Future me is going to go ahead and show you just exactly how to use Fiverr for some of these services. Take it away, Dale. The first thing we're going to do is head on over to our exclusive sponsors landing page for the Fiverr book and ebook store, dalelinks.com/Fiverr. Once we get there, we can start to really narrow things down. And what I will start out, first of all, remember how we were talking about book covers that are good and book covers that are bad? Well, the nice thing is you can find a good cover designer at a pretty good cost here. So let's just say, for instance, that you have a budget, you don't have much to work with, you've got maybe $10 to $50 to go on a book cover. We'll hit apply. It'll pull up the different service providers, but let's say I really want to have someone who's experienced. We're going to go into seller details. Maybe I'll only work with top-rated sellers or level 2 sellers. Or if you would like to work with somebody who's new and give them a shot, you can also choose from, 3,600 different sellers here. We'd hit apply, and then we could scroll through each one of these options. We can also narrow down the service options by going into the genre. And let's say I'm working on a how-to book. Maybe it's on self-help and wellness or business. We'll hit apply. And then we can start to look at some of the other ones and see if they will work out for our needs. Scroll down, take a look at what they have to offer, and the different basic, standard, and premium packages. And remember how I said book descriptions can make or break you? Hey, beautiful thing here is book blurbs. We can go ahead and have somebody do it for us. All you gotta do is head over to dalelinks.com/Fiverr. That's Fiverr. Number 1, marketing and promotion. Oh, I hear everybody's groaning. They're like, oh yeah, come on, Dale, I've tried marketing and promotion, it doesn't work. If you say you tried, that means you did it past tense and you stopped doing it, and that's gonna be the thing that's going to work against you. When it comes to marketing and promotion for your book, it is in perpetuity. That means it is forever. If you want to get continued sales to your publication, you have to be the beacon above your book that draws in more people, that gets it to where they're aware of this. Because here's the thing, just to publish and pray for the best on the market, you can't come back here and complain to me that you're not selling any books. Publishing and praying is not a good strategy to drive more sales. Marketing and promotion is one of the best ways to continue to do that. Now let's just say you've tried out a particular marketing and promotion technique over the last year, every day, 365 days, and you're saying this particular methodology doesn't work, Dale. It's a bunch of horse baloney. I don't think it works. Great. You've tried it out for the last year for every day, 365 days, then I would agree. Maybe that marketing strategy isn't working out for you. But if you haven't done it for that long of a period of time and that type of consistency, then of course it's not going to work. You haven't exhausted all possibilities of that particular marketing avenue. I've pointed out other areas like Amazon advertising. People say, oh, that doesn't work. Funny. I know thousands of other people that it works just fine for, and they're profiting hand and fist. Why is this not working for you? Chances are likely you haven't opened yourself up to learning more about it. You haven't allowed yourself to be more coachable, to learn some of these things and also take a step back and ask for peer review or some guidance. Sometimes you've got to do that. You can't just do this on your own. If you're finding that a marketing and promotion technique isn't working, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to wear every stinking hat in this business. I know indie authors, that's what you got to do, but you don't have to do it. And speaking of marketing and promotion for your self-published books, I've actually got an entire playlist series with tons of ideas for you. I mean, everything from free to paid products in between. You're going to find out more inside this very next video playlist series. I'm going to see you in there. What are you waiting for? Let's find out some more avenues you can do to market and promote your book and get more sales.